An exposé on hidden toxins, corporate secrets, and the truth in your cup. What if your morning coffee isn't just caffeine, but a slow-acting chemical experiment? Every morning, over 150 million Americans reach for their cup of coffee, a ritual, a comfort, a necessity. But what if that cup is quietly harming you? Independent labs, FDA recalls, and consumer watchdogs reveal a hidden reality. Toxic mold, pesticide residues, heavy metals like lead and cadmium, acrylamide from high roasting, microplastics from packaging, and artificial chemicals all hiding in America's favorite brands. Long-term exposure is linked to liver damage, gut inflammation, hormonal disruption, nervous system stress, and cancer risk. Yet most consumers never hear about it. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on the top 15 worst coffee brands in the USA and the dangerous truths in your daily cup. Folgers, the mystery coffee Folgers, the brand synonymous with the iconic jingle, "The best part of waking up." That familiar red canister sits in kitchens across America, evoking nostalgia and trust. But behind this comforting image is a story of secrecy, cost-cutting, and chemical exposure. Folgers rarely disclose bean origin, harvest date, or variety. Open a canister and you'll find only one word: coffee. No farm name, no batch traceability, just an industrial product engineered for consistency, not quality. The truth? Folgers uses primarily Robusta beans, the cheapest and harshest species, far inferior to Arabica. And independent labs found acrylamide levels exceeding California's Proposition 65 cancer warning thresholds between 2015 and 2018. Acrylamide forms when beans are over-roasted, a known probable human carcinogen that attacks DNA and the nervous system. The instant versions are even worse, filled with maltodextrin, silicon dioxide, and lab-engineered flavors, creating a chemical-scented cup that barely resembles coffee. The flavor? Thin, bitter, and hollow. Brew it, and it lacks oils and body. For seniors and cancer survivors, years of consuming Folgers means silent exposure to mold toxins and chemical carcinogens, accumulating over decades. Families seeking convenience unknowingly serve a product that prioritizes profit over safety. Folgers' marketing is brilliant, masking these dangers with familiarity and comfort. That red canister lulls consumers into trust while hiding the industrial processes and chemical additives inside. It's nostalgia sold at the cost of your health. For anyone who's relied on Folgers for decades, this is a wake-up call. Global brand, global secrecy. Skip it and seek coffee brands that are transparent, third-party tested, and free from toxic additives. Don't let your morning ritual quietly jeopardize your long-term health. Folgers sell trust, but it hides transparency. But the real question is, what is it doing to your body one cup at a time? Dunkin, fast coffee, faster damage. Dunkin sells energy, speed, and convenience, but fast coffee often means cutting corners. Only about 30% of Dunkin's dark roast beans are Rainforest Alliance certified. The rest? Unknown. No organic options, no full transparency. That means exposure to pesticides, fungicides, and synthetic fertilizers is possible. These chemicals are linked to gut inflammation, hormonal disruption, and increased cancer risk. Dunkin's mass roasting process increases acrylamide levels. Their coffee also contains high acidity, which many customers report causes acid reflux, chest burning, and stomach ulcers over time. The flavored syrups and creamers add another danger: artificial sweeteners, seed oils, and preservatives that stress the liver and spike blood sugar. Reviews mention heart racing, crashes, headaches, and digestive pain. Dunkin wakes you up fast, but what does it cost your body? Maxwell House, burned for profit. Maxwell House, good to the last drop. Familiar, trusted, comforting, but behind the slogan lies a coffee quietly criticized for low-quality beans, a chemical exposure, and hidden health risks. The brand relies on mass-market blends, Arabica mixed with cheaper Robusta beans, which are bitter, less flavorful, and higher in caffeine. To mask defects, Maxwell House uses heavy roasting, a process that produces acrylamide, a probable human carcinogen. Independent lab tests show Maxwell House Instant, approximately 450 parts per billion, brewed, approximately 12 to 15 parts per billion, levels comparable to a large order of French fries. Long-term exposure to acrylamide has been linked to nerve damage, hormone disruption, and cancer. Maxwell House is non-organic, meaning beans are exposed to synthetic pesticides and herbicides. Recent 2025 tests detected AMPA, a glyphosate byproduct, in almost all non-organic samples. While regulatory limits allow trace amounts, chronic exposure can contribute to gut inflammation, hormone disruption, and other health problems. Packaging introduces additional risk. Cans and pods, common for Maxwell House, leach phthalates, chemicals associated with reproductive issues, asthma, and certain cancers. Studies indicate phthalate migration is highest in canned coffee, with up to 70% of samples testing positive. Hot water flowing through plastic pods at 200 degrees Fahrenheit increases chemical transfer, creating a silent hazard in every cup. Naturally occurring heavy metals add another layer of risk. Lead averages 46.8 micrograms per kilogram, cadmium around 3.6 micrograms per kilogram in brewed coffee. Individually below safe weekly intake, combined with acrylamide, pesticides, and phthalates, these chemicals create a cumulative stress on liver, gut, and nervous system. Consumers report bitter taste, acid reflux, nausea, and stomach irritation. And some warn that the flavor is burnt or chemical-like, hinting at heavy roasting and chemical residues. Yet Maxwell House provides no sourcing transparency, no third-party lab results, no testing disclosures. For decades, Maxwell House has sold comfort and nostalgia, but the nostalgic aroma masks a harsh truth. Your morning coffee may be silently harming your liver, gut, hormones, and nervous system. Maxwell House sells comfort. But comfort doesn't mean clean. So ask yourself, is your coffee waking you up or slowly wearing you down? Great value. Walmart. Cheap and contaminated. What if the cheapest coffee in America is also the most dangerous? What if your morning cup is slowly poisoning you without you even knowing it? At first glance, Great Value coffee seems like the perfect budget-friendly choice. $4 per pound, and widely available and convenient. What's not to love? But cheap comes with a hidden price. In 2016, Consumer Reports tested 15 coffee brands for contamination, and Great Value ranked worst for mold toxins, specifically ochratoxin A, a fungal contaminant that attacks the liver and kidneys. What's worse, the bean's origin is a mystery. No country of origin, no harvest date, no batch codes, just bulk coffee repackaged under Walmart's label. How does Walmart make coffee this cheap? Real coffee costs $5 to $7 per pound wholesale to produce. Selling it for $4 retail leaves little room for quality control. The answer? Corners cut at every step, including sourcing from unknown farms, minimal testing, and likely poor storage conditions. Open a bag, and the stale, musty smell is a clear sign. Mold contamination. Brewed coffee looks cloudy, gritty, and lacks the rich oils found in authentic coffee. Every cup may be a health gamble. For seniors with declining immunity, ochratoxin A accumulates silently, worsening liver and kidney health. For families trying to stretch a grocery budget, it's a dangerous trade-off, saving a few dollars while exposing everyone to long-term health risks. Even for healthy adults, repeated exposure to mold toxins and unknown additives can compromise well-being over time. Great Value isn't just budget coffee, it's a health risk dressed in affordability. The friendly price tag masks corporate negligence, prioritizing cost over safety. Families, seniors, and anyone who drinks this daily are unknowingly ingesting mold toxins and mystery beans every morning. Next time you reach for that $4 bag, remember, convenience and savings may come at the cost of your health. This isn't just cheap coffee, it's a silent danger in your cup. Great value may save money, but at what cost? And if this is what hides in budget brands, what else is hiding in the rest? Green Mountain K-Cups. Plastic in your cup. Single-serve coffee seems harmless, convenient, even perfect for busy mornings, but every K-Cup hides a chemical risk most people never consider. When hot water flows through these plastic pods at nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit, it releases a cocktail of BPA, phthalates, and microplastic particles directly into your cup. These chemicals aren't just theoretical risks. The European Food Safety Authority warns that BPA and phthalates can disrupt hormones, affect reproductive health, and interfere with the body's delicate endocrine system. Microplastics? They've been detected in human blood, organs, and even placentas, silently entering bodies with repeated exposure. The coffee itself offers no relief. Beans are mass-produced, pre-ground, and often low quality, roasted at high temperatures that create acrylamide, a probable human carcinogen linked to nerve damage, hormone disruption, and cancer risk over time. Non-organic sourcing means pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides can also be present, adding liver and gut stress with every cup. Green Mountain provides almost no transparency. No public mold testing, pesticide screening, or chemical exposure reports leave consumers completely in the dark. You drink for energy, flavor, and convenience. But what you're really consuming may be plastics, toxins, and chemical byproducts your body wasn't meant to handle. Customers report subtle but troubling symptoms: bitter metallic taste, stomach irritation, headaches, and jitteriness. Every morning routine built around these K-Cups is quietly exposing people to a slow, cumulative health risk, masked by convenience and brand trust. Single-serve coffee promises speed, but with Green Mountain K-Cups, every sip delivers more than caffeine. It delivers plastic, chemicals, and invisible dangers most consumers never see coming. So the next time you brew a K-Cup, ask yourself, is your convenience worth drinking toxins every morning? Starbucks bottled Frappuccinos, liquid candy. They look like coffee. They taste like coffee. But nutritionally, they're dessert. Starbucks. The Green Mermaid logo is recognized worldwide, a symbol of quality and premium coffee culture. But behind that familiar image, a Starbucks bottled Frappuccino is a different story. What's sold in those convenient bottles is far from real coffee. It's a Trojan horse of sugar, milk, and artificial flavor. Look at the ingredients. Milk, sugar, and coffee listed third. Essentially, coffee is an afterthought, a flavoring agent hiding in a dessert disguised as a beverage. One bottle contains 42 grams of sugar, more than a can of Coca-Cola. 8 grams of saturated fat rival a McDonald's cheeseburger. Shake it, and it moves thick, syrupy, and unnaturally creamy. Pour it, and it leaves an oily film clinging to the glass. Real coffee is translucent. This is coated in sugar and fat, masking the coffee itself. For diabetics, it triggers dangerous glucose spikes. For kids, it trains taste buds to crave candy-like sweetness instead of real beverages. Seniors with heart issues? Saturated fat plus refined sugar equals inflammation acceleration. Starbucks leverages its trust and premium branding to disguise this liquid candy. You pay for a logo and a perception of quality, not the coffee itself. The company spent decades building trust with quality beans and skilled baristas, only to license that trust for mass-produced sugary drinks. The deception is subtle but effective. Your brain associates Starbucks with expertise, yet your body is drinking something closer to a dessert beverage than coffee. For families, students, or anyone relying on that brand for a caffeine fix, it's a hidden health trap. Starbucks Frappuccino isn't just misleading, it's an exposé of corporate branding exploiting trust. Your cup may look premium, but what you're really sipping is sugar, fat, and disappointment. Café Bustelo, a chemical surprise in every cup. Café Bustelo is a staple in many American kitchens, known for its bold Latin flavor. But behind the vibrant branding lies a hidden chemical reality most consumers never see. Owned and distributed by J.M. Smucker, Café Bustelo offers no organic or sustainability certifications, meaning its beans are often grown with pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. The beans are pre-ground, mass-produced, and heavily roasted, creating acrylamide, a probable human carcinogen linked to nerve damage, hormone disruption, and cancer risk. Low-quality beans are over-roasted to hide defects, amplifying bitterness while silently introducing chemical byproducts into every cup. Packaging adds another layer of danger. Plastic lids, pods, and cans can leach phthalates, chemicals known to disrupt hormones, fertility, and child development. Hot coffee flowing through these materials increases exposure with each sip. Consumers report metallic aftertaste, stomach irritation, acid reflux, headaches, and jitteriness. Subtle but persistent warnings of the chemicals lurking in their daily brew. Café Bustelo may deliver bold taste and convenience, but every cup hides a cocktail of low-quality beans, chemical byproducts, and packaging toxins, quietly impacting health over time. So the next time you savor that espresso, ask yourself, is it flavor you're drinking or a slow-acting chemical experiment? International Delight Iced Coffee, a chemical storm in every sip. Beneath the sweet, creamy surface of International Delight Iced Coffee lies a hidden chemical storm. At first glance, it seems harmless. Coffee in a bottle ready to go. But look closer. And you'll realize this isn't coffee at all. The ingredient list reads like a chemical dessert. Water, sugar, cream, and coffee listed forth. Then come palm oil, artificial flavors, sodium phosphate, carrageenan, ingredients that turn this coffee into a liquid dessert masquerading as a morning beverage. One bottle contains 42 grams of sugar, more than a can of Coca-Cola, and 8 grams of saturated fat, more than a McDonald's cheeseburger. Pour it, shake it, and notice the unnatural syrupy texture, the oily film clinging to the glass. Real iced coffee is translucent, light, and aromatic, not a thick artificial milkshake. For diabetics, one bottle spikes blood sugar dangerously. For kids, it trains the palate to crave sugar over real flavors. For seniors with heart conditions, the combination of refined sugar and saturated fat accelerates inflammation and arterial plaque buildup. And the coffee in the bottle, it's barely there, an afterthought, a flavoring agent designed to hint at coffee while letting sugar dominate. International Delight markets convenience and taste, but what it delivers is deception in a bottle. Parents handing this to teens, seniors sipping it daily, or anyone trusting the label are unknowingly consuming industrial sugar-laden chemicals, not coffee. This brand demonstrates the danger of trusting packaging over substance. The familiar logo and appealing flavors hide a beverage that undermines health with every sip. The bright bottle isn't a warning. It's a trap, disguised as comfort. Skip it entirely and look for coffee that actually contains coffee, not a sweetened and processed beverage designed for profit over wellness. Lavazza, a name that screams Italian sophistication. Premium tins, elegant branding, coffee that looks like it belongs in a European cafe. But appearances can be deceiving. Behind the polished packaging lies a story of hidden toxins, pesticide residues, and opaque sourcing. Between 2017 and 2019, European consumer groups tested Lavazza's non-organic lines and discovered pesticide residues and ochratoxin A, a mold toxin known to damage liver and kidneys. The European Union responded with warnings and stricter testing requirements, demanding transparency. Meanwhile, American consumers received nothing. No recalls, no alerts, no acknowledgement. Lavazza sources beans from multiple countries with zero batch traceability. You cannot know which farm, which harvest, or which processing facility produced your cup. Beautiful tins mask a complete lack of transparency. Open one, and the aroma is pleasant but generic. Factory consistency, not artisan quality. Every batch smells the same because it has been engineered for mass production, not for flavor or safety. For cancer survivors and seniors, ochratoxin A exposure is a serious risk. Pregnant women face pesticide residues crossing the placental barrier, potentially affecting fetal development. European labels cannot guarantee safety when corporate profit is prioritized over health. Lavazza's premium branding lures consumers into a false sense of security, trading elegance for chemical exposure. This is coffee roulette. Your cup may be delicious, or it may be a slow toxin delivery. Lavazza hides industrial processing behind heritage branding, exploiting trust while exposing consumers to health risks. Next time you pick up a Lavazza tin, remember, premium price does not equal premium safety. The story behind the label is more important than the aroma in the cup. McCafé, speed and toxicity in every cup. When you think of McDonald's, you picture fast, convenient, and familiar. The golden arches promise a comforting breakfast routine. But McCafé coffee hides a darker side. Sold in stores, drive-thrus, and even K-Cup pods, McCafé often markets itself as cafe quality at home. But what you're really getting is industrial, high-heat processed coffee with hidden risks. In 2014, Canadian food safety investigators discovered elevated levels of acrylamide in McDonald's coffee. Acrylamide forms when beans are over-roasted at extreme heat and is classified as a probable human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. This chemical attacks DNA and can contribute to long-term health risks. McCafé's K-Cup line adds another danger. Plastic pods heated to extreme temperatures leach BPA and microplastics directly into your coffee. Tiny particles small enough to enter the bloodstream may accumulate in organs over time. McDonald's sources coffee in massive bulk contracts, leaving no transparency about origin, pesticide exposure, or storage practices. Open a brewed cup, and you'll notice it's often watery, pale brown, and thin, lacking the natural oils and depth of real coffee. The chemical undertones hint at overprocessing, additives, and corner cutting. For seniors with kidney or heart issues, repeated consumption increases toxin exposure and may accelerate health decline. For teenagers or young adults, developing systems are more vulnerable to acrylamide and microplastics. Even casual daily drinkers are unknowingly consuming substances that no premium coffee would allow. McCafé delivers convenience and taste, but the cost is your health. The familiar brand logo masks industrial shortcuts, chemical contamination, and plastic leaching, making it a hidden danger in your morning routine. For families seeking a safe cup, this is one brand to skip entirely. Death Wish Coffee, when caffeine becomes dangerous. Death Wish Coffee, a name that already sounds like a warning. The world's strongest coffee, with a skull logo designed to attract caffeine addicts who believe more is always better. But the reality behind this branding is dangerous and overlooked. Each 12-ounce cup can contain up to 728 milligrams of caffeine, nearly 3 times the caffeine in a regular cup. This isn't just a strong coffee, it's a stimulant bomb that hits your heart, nervous system, and kidneys all at once. The secret lies in the beans, Robusta, cheaper, harsher, and far higher in caffeine than the smoother Arabica beans. Over-roasted to extract maximum caffeine, Death Wish coffee tastes burnt because it is. In 2019, the FDA received multiple reports of serious health reactions, including heart palpitations, tremors, severe anxiety, and emergency room visits. People expecting a strong cup of coffee instead faced potential medical emergencies. Yet the company's response was minimal. No product reformulation, no warnings beyond the packaging. and no acknowledgement of the dangers. The branding continued to glorify extreme caffeine while hiding the real health risks. For seniors on heart or blood pressure medication, 1 cup could trigger arrhythmias or dangerously high blood pressure. For anyone over 60, the sheer caffeine load stresses the kidneys and disrupts sleep for days. Open a bag, and the smell hits. Burnt, acrid, over-roasted to carbon-like levels. This isn't craftsmanship, it's caffeine weaponized. While some brands hide toxins quietly, Death Wish Coffee warns you up front. But the danger remains real for anyone unprepared. For caffeine enthusiasts, the extreme branding may be tempting, but the health consequences are very real. Skip it entirely if your heart, sleep, or kidneys matter. Extreme caffeine, industrial-grade over-roasting, and serious health risks make Death Wish Coffee one of the most dangerous beverages you can pour into your cup. Tim Hortons Original Blend. For decades, Tim Hortons was more than just a coffee brand in Canada. It was a cultural institution. Families gathered in its cafes, seniors met friends, and morning routines were defined by the familiar aroma of their original blend. It represented trust, quality, and community. But everything changed after the 2014 acquisition by Restaurant Brands International, backed by 3G Capital. Post-acquisition, reports and class action lawsuits began surfacing, accusing the company of quietly switching to cheaper, lower-quality beans while keeping the original blend name. Independent lab tests revealed elevated acrylamide levels, a chemical formed when coffee beans are over-roasted at extreme heat and classified as a probable carcinogen. Consumers reported burnt flavors, chemical aftertastes, and stomach discomfort, a stark contrast to the comforting cup they had trusted for decades. The betrayal didn't stop there. Tim Hortons also introduced K-Cup pods, exposing consumers to BPA and microplastics during brewing. Plastic heated to high temperatures leaches toxins into the coffee, compounding the risks already present from over-roasted beans. Transparency vanished. There were no detailed origin disclosures, no pesticide reports, and no assurances about mold contamination. What was once a legacy of honesty became industrially produced coffee optimized for profit, not safety. For seniors, the long-term exposure to acrylamide and microplastics poses serious kidney and liver concerns, while families unknowingly feed these toxins to children and teenagers. Even casual drinkers are consuming coffee that no ethical brand would allow on its shelves. The original blend you loved may now be a chemical-laden shadow of its former self. Tim Hortons' transformation is a cautionary tale. Corporate greed can destroy decades of trust. Open your bag, smell that over-roasted aroma, taste the bitterness, and you're witnessing the cost of shortcuts. 8 o'clock coffee. Pesticide risks in every cup. 8 o'clock. Coffee has been a household name for decades, but behind the familiar packaging hides a hidden chemical threat. Most of its beans are non-organic, pre-ground, and sourced from multiple countries, but often without fair trade or sustainability certifications. This leaves them exposed to pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides, silently stressing the liver, gut, and hormones with repeated consumption. Heavy roasting masks low-quality beans but produces acrylamide, a probable human carcinogen linked to nerve damage, hormonal disruption, and cancer risk. Improper storage can allow mold toxins like ochratoxin A to form, linked to kidney damage and immune suppression. Packaging adds another hidden hazard. Plastic lids and bags can leach phthalates, chemicals known to disrupt endocrine function, fertility, and child development. Consumer feedback confirms the silent dangers: metallic aftertaste, stomach irritation, headaches, and jitteriness. 8 o'clock may promise tradition and flavor, but each cup carries hidden chemicals and long-term health risks. So the next time you pour a cup, ask yourself, is it coffee or a slow-acting chemical experiment? Kirkland, Costco. The mass-produced coffee risk you never see. When you walk past the bulk aisles at Costco, Kirkland coffee looks like a bargain. Large bags, familiar branding, promise of flavor. But beneath that bright packaging lies a hidden chemical reality that few consumers realize. These beans are pre-ground, heavily roasted, and sourced from multiple countries. Yet the company offers no transparency on pesticides, fungicides, or storage conditions. Low-cost beans are often Robusta-heavy, over-roasted to mask imperfections. This process produces acrylamide, a chemical the U.S. National Toxicology Program classifies as a probable human carcinogen. They're linked to nerve damage, hormone disruption, and cancer risk. Non-organic sourcing adds another layer. Traces of glyphosate byproducts, herbicides, and fungicides silently enter your cup, stressing the liver, gut, and hormones over time. Packaging compounds the danger. Plastic bags, pods, and metal cans can leach phthalates, chemicals that disrupt endocrine function, fertility, and even child development. Hot water flowing through these materials accelerates contamination, turning your morning brew into a slow chemical experiment. Consumers report subtle but concerning side effects: acid reflux, headaches, stomach irritation, metallic aftertaste, and jitteriness. Yet the convenience and bulk pricing keep people coming back, unaware of what they're drinking. Kirkland coffee may save money and provide quantity, but it delivers more than caffeine. It delivers hidden toxins, chemical byproducts, and long-term health risks masked by mass production. So the next time you fill your cart with Kirkland coffee, ask yourself, is this truly a bargain, or are you paying for convenience with your health? Seattle's best coffee, Starbucks' dirty little secret. Seattle's best coffee might look safe, familiar, and affordable, but beneath the surface lies a hidden dark side. While Starbucks promotes ethical sourcing and organic options, Seattle's best often skips these standards. Low-quality beans are sourced from multiple countries, with minimal transparency on pesticide use, mold control, or storage conditions. The beans are pre-ground and heavily roasted, producing acrylamide, a probable human carcinogen linked to nerve damage, hormone disruption, and cancer risk. Instant and pre-packaged blends increase exposure, quietly accumulating with each cup. Non-organic sourcing exposes drinkers to pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides, contributing to liver stress, gut inflammation, and hormonal imbalance. Without third-party lab testing or fair trade certification, consumers remain completely unaware of the chemical burden in their daily routine. Packaging adds another hidden threat. Plastic lids, pods, and even pre-packed containers can leach phthalates, chemicals known to disrupt endocrine function, fertility, and child development. Hot coffee flowing through these materials amplifies exposure, even in small doses over time. Customer feedback confirms the silent dangers. Stomach irritation, acid reflux, headaches, jitteriness, and metallic aftertaste are frequently reported. What seems like a simple, energizing cup is, in reality, a cocktail of low-quality beans, chemical byproducts, and plastic contaminants, quietly affecting health with every sip. Seattle's best promises budget-friendly Starbucks flavor, but every cup delivers more than taste. It delivers hidden chemicals, toxins, and long-term health risks most consumers never see coming. So the next time you pour a cup of Seattle's best, ask yourself, are you really drinking coffee, or are you sipping a slow-acting chemical experiment? Nestlé Nescafé. Nestlé. Nescafé has been a staple in kitchens around the world for over 85 years. That iconic red label is trusted across 180 countries, sold in billions of jars. For generations, it seemed like a safe, reliable choice. But the story behind the cup is far more sinister. Between 2013 and 2017, European regulators discovered aflatoxin contamination, a dangerous mold toxin that attacks the liver, suppresses immune function, and accumulates over time. Classified as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as tobacco and asbestos, Aflatoxins are not something to take lightly. Despite recalls in Europe and Asia, Nestlé chose silence for American consumers. No warnings, no disclosure. Your kitchen could be holding years of accumulated toxins without you knowing. But the danger doesn't stop there. The instant coffee production process uses high-heat spray drying, destroying antioxidants and creating acrylamide, another carcinogen. Dissolve a spoonful. It disappears almost instantly. The smell is artificial, hollow, and burnt, chemistry pretending to be coffee. For seniors, decades of consumption could mean silent liver damage. For cancer survivors, aflatoxins directly counteract recovery efforts. Convenience has replaced safety, leaving millions exposed. Every cup of Nescafé instant coffee delivers chemical additives and heat-generated carcinogens hidden behind a red label trusted for generations. Open a jar, observe the powder, brew it, and notice the thin, pale liquid. Real coffee has oils, aroma, and body. This is engineered brown water. Nescafé's decades of global trust have been exposed as a corporate cover-up, putting profits over your health. Coffee isn't just a drink, it's a daily ritual, a small comfort. But today, we saw how some cups hide secrets, toxins, and corporate cover-ups. Your next sip could be innocent, or it could be dangerous. The power is in your hands. Choose carefully, question what's in your mug, and never take a brand at face value. And share this video, talk about it, and most importantly, look inside your kitchen. Because once you see the truth, ordinary coffee will never feel ordinary again.